Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another Empties video. I feel like, and I know I mentioned this in probably every Empties video, but I feel like I wait and wait and wait because I'm always at the cusp of finishing something else. And I'm like, just one more thing, just one more thing. And then I have so many Empties that I feel like sometimes I rush through because I have so much to talk about. So what I decided to do was that every couple of months, I was going to do an Empties regardless of how much I had in my bag. That way I wouldn't feel so rushed. I wouldn't feel compelled to keep waiting and waiting. I'm giving myself a timeline here. So I still have quite a bit, but I don't have as much as I typically do, which I'm actually excited about. So let's go ahead and jump in. I have some skincare. I don't think I have any hair care this time. I do have some makeup, some personal makeup, some kit makeup. So let's get started because even though I don't have as much, I still have quite a bit. I like to try to go in order of how I use these on my face to keep it easier for me to go through. So let's start with cleansers. And I have two oil or pre-cleanse step cleansers to talk about. One is the Dermalogica Pre-Cleanse. This was actually sent to me to review, and I'm very mixed about this product because it is a little bit thicker than I like to have an oil cleanser be. I do prefer oils over balms. I've said that before. I don't dislike balms, but sometimes they tend to break me out. So I was excited to try this because it's an oil, but again, it's a little bit thicker. And while it did get my face makeup off fabulously, it did not get my eye makeup off all the way. And I will say, to be fair, there is only one oil cleanser, and I'll talk about it next, that does get my eye makeup off all the way. Out of all of the ones that I have tried, there is just the one. So, to be fair, I can't fault it necessarily for that. I think I just put so much primer and mascara on that it's hard for even the best of oil cleansers to get it off. But another thing I didn't love about this is the smell. It's very heavily scented in lavender, and I am not a fan of lavender, like at all. It kind of turns my stomach a little bit. So I used it, I got through it, but I definitely am not going to repurchase, mainly because of the smell, and secondly, because of just the thickness of it. It just wasn't my favorite. Now, my favorite, and one that will always be in my rotation, if for nothing else to use on my eye makeup, is the MAC Cleanse Off Oil. I have gone through so many of these. This is very, very thin, almost watery, but there's something about it. So I have lots of balms and oils that I'm trying to get through, and I'm using one right now from Fit Glow. I always say Fit Glow. I'm using a Fit Glow cleansing oil right now, which I love, but it still does not get all of my eye makeup off. So what I do is I use the Fit Glow all over my face and neck, and then I go in with this on my eyes. It's just the one that works the best. Always will have that in my skincare rotation. And then a cleanser that I went through is the Kate Somerville Goat Milk Moisturizing Cleanser. This has been a cult favorite for years and years, and I had never tried it before now. I actually got this in a BoxyCharm, I think, of all places. And so I was like, you know what? I've heard so many good things about this. I'm going to give it a go. I liked it. It was great. It's very moisturizing. It's a lighter cleanser. So what I found myself doing is using this more in the morning versus at night. But it was great. Am I going to repurchase it? Probably not. I mean, it's not something that I love more than my Sanitas or my Chantecaille, which are my two favorite cleansers right now, but it was good. Next step is toner. And I feel like I always have a Revision Soothing Facial Rinse in my Empties because it is just my favorite toner. I have been using a kind of essence step in the morning after this, but I don't envision myself ever replacing this. It's a little bit of a more viscous product, so it could also be used kind of like an essence, but I like using it just to make sure that every stitch of everything is off of my face before I go in with my serums. A couple of sheet masks that I used. The first is the Truth Treatment Systems Electrolite Facial Mask. I love these. I have many more in my collection. I like to use these when my skin just needs a break. When it's very dry, I feel like it's just been soaking up too many actives and I just want to give it a break. I like to use this, a hydrating serum and moisturizer at night, and that's it. I don't do that very often, but there are just times every couple weeks where I'm like, you know what? My skin needs to breathe, and I like to use this. Another mask. This is from Exquisite Body, and this is the Neck and Décolleté Renewing Mask. So this is very cool because it wraps around your neck and it goes all the way down your décolleté. And I hadn't used this before, but I really liked it. I like the way it made my skin feel afterwards. And one of the things I like most about it is that I felt like I could still walk around and function while I had this on. It didn't slip and slide. I didn't feel like I had to lay on my back the whole time while I had it on, which is important to me because yes, I like to like chill out for 20 minutes, but sometimes being restricted to like one position on my back is just a little too much. So I liked that part about this, and I also liked how it made my neck and décolleté feel. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to use many of them over a longer period of time to see if I feel like it made any kind of difference, but it is very hydrating, and again, I like the wear of it. Oh, I skipped a toner. This is the toner that I use on my exfoliating nights. This is the Clarity RX Brighten It 10% lactic acid solution. And this stuff is fabulous if you cannot handle glycolic acid, which I really can't, especially in large doses, but you still want a nice AHA to give you that exfoliation. Lactic acid is going to do it. It's a bigger molecule. It doesn't penetrate as far, and it also has hydrating qualities to it as well. So love this. It's my favorite. I'm actually using a different exfoliator right now that I started using after this, and I'm going to talk about my favorites. But I still have this. I had a backup of it and I have it in my rotation, and I don't envision myself not having it because my skin really likes it. All right, let's talk about some serums. I only have 4 serums. I feel like the last Empties, I had like 14 or something insane. So I only have 4. And 2 of them are my favorite serum of all time, Neogenesis Recovery. I have talked about this ad nauseum. I totally know this, but if you are new to my channel and you have not heard me talk about this, I will put a card of my full review of Neogenesis because this is the best serum for me and my skin. I don't want to be without it. It's one of those ones where when I am without it and I am like waiting for it to show up or something, my skin tells me that it misses this serum. It gets dull. Last time I didn't have it, it started breaking out like on my forehead. I'm like, what is this nonsense? And then I started using this again when it came in and everything went back to normal. So I can't sing its praises enough. Another one that absolutely is a favorite of mine, as you well know, for years I have used this. I have gotten Chad to use this. I will always have this in my routine. And anytime anyone asks me my favorite vitamin C, it's no ifs, ands, or buts, or questions asked that I'm going to say it is this, the Truth Treatment Systems Transdermal C Serum. This is a tetrahexyl exorbate form of vitamin C. What I'm noticing is that I get older. I can't really handle the L-exorbic acid either. My skin just doesn't like something so active, kind of like glycolic. So this has been a staple. This has been what works the best for me. You know, I've heard some people say they don't see results from vitamin C. My biggest thing is not necessarily seeing results as it is preventative measures. Vitamin C and SPF work so well together, so I always use mine in the mornings. It helps with environmental aggressors. It's just a very potent antioxidant that I know is helping prevent further aging in doing its job. And this one is my favorite. Now, I don't have these in every single Empties because it lasts forever. Even with Chad using it every day, I can still get 7 or 8 months out of this one bottle. So while it is expensive, I promise you, if you're using it by yourself, it'll probably last you a year. I use 2 drops every day, and I was going to say I don't want to be without it, but what I'm going to say is I'm not going to be without it. As long as I am financially able to buy it, I will not be without it. This is another serum that I finished, and I'm kind of sad about it. And I have other hyaluronic acid serums, so that's why I haven't repurchased it yet. But I am going to, because I would venture to say this is one of my very favorite hyaluronic acid serums. And this is from Bay Harbor Beauty, and it's the Ceramide and Hyaluronic Acid Serum. Really good inky list on this, very affordable. It's got the ceramides very high up on the ingredient list. the hyaluronic acid, but it doesn't dry my skin out. It comes in a nice like creamy serum, almost lotiony, sinks in really well, plays well with all of my other skincare products. I really have nothing bad to say about this. I've very much enjoyed it. So definitely check that out if you were looking for a new hydrating serum. An eye cream that I ran out of, and I'm so very sad because it is definitely one of my favorites, is the Colorescience Total Eye Firm and Repair Cream. They launched this, I believe, in October of last year. I used it for an entire month before it launched, only this product day and night, and I absolutely love it. It doesn't feel as hydrating as when you put it on the skin, but it hydrates really well. I love the kind of film. I don't want to say that. It sounds bad. It's not a film. The way it lays on your skin, it almost works as a primer for your concealer. It smooths everything out, but it doesn't lay on top of your skin. It's very crazy how it works, honestly, and I absolutely love it. So while I am going through other eye creams, this will definitely be a repurchase for me in the future. A moisturizer I used up is the Neogenesis Intensive Moisturizer. I do like this, but what I ended up doing was getting the Barrier Repair because that is my favorite out of all of them. I just feel like it does really, really good things for your skin, for my skin at least. And so that's the one that I got after this, but I do like this. I do feel like if you're extra, extra dry, you're gonna like this. I feel like it mixes really well with oils and anything else you wanna mix it with. And it's Neogenesis. I never have anything bad to say about this line. So I did finish up that, but I did start using the Barrier, is it Barrier Renewal Cream or Barrier Repair? I think it's Barrier Renewal. That's the one that I'm using now because it's my favorite. I finished up a Revision Nectifirm Advanced, which I do feel like also makes it into every one of my empties. And while this has always been my favorite neck cream, I started using a neck cream from Sente after I finished this up. So I'm going to see at the end of that bottle if I see a difference, if I like one over the other, and I'll definitely let you know. But I did finish this up as well. Rare that I have an empties without an SPF. This is my Elta MD UV Restore Broad Spectrum SPF 40. I talked about this in my SPF video, which I will put in a card if you missed it. And this is my favorite of the Elta MDs to use in the drier months. So like the winter months, usually around like October, I will start using this. And then come like April probably, I will go back to the Elements. But this is very hydrating and it's Elta MD. I mean, I can't even tell you how many tubes of that I have gone through. The Hair Random that I forgot about, this is a small little travel size of the Chlorane dry shampoo with oat milk. And I love this stuff. This is not the first one I have had of this. And I don't know why I don't repurchase the full size because every time I use one of these small ones, I'm very impressed with how it works. It's not sticky or tacky. It doesn't make my hair stiff, but it works like a dry shampoo should work. So I actually really like it. And I need to repurchase a full size when I'm done with the one I'm using. I finished up my Revitalash Advanced Eyelash Conditioner. This is the lash growth serum from Revitalash. I get asked all the time what I use on my lashes, and this is it. I'm on maintenance now, so I only use it 2 to 3 times a week, and it just does really good things for my lashes. I get asked all the time. I do have, and I feel like this is with everybody, I do have like 2 months where my lashes are like, whew. And then I'll have a month where they're like, I'm going to stand in the background for a little bit and I'm not going to pop out as much and I'm going to kind of regrow and do my thing. And I'm kind of at that spot right now. So they're not as great as they can be or they will be. But that is not to say this stuff doesn't work. I've used it for years and I love it. I finished up 2 of my Laneige lip sleeping masks. I finished up the large one. This is the original, which I think is like a berry. And then this is the peppermint lip sleeping mask in the mini size that came in one of their holiday sets. I love this at night. I will use this at night and it just stays on all night. It's very, very, very moisturizing, a little bit thicker, but I like that at nighttime. The peppermint one didn't really smell like peppermint to me, which was upsetting because I love the scent of peppermint. But the original, I would say, is probably still my favorite. I think they're coming out with a chocolate one. Maybe they already have, which is a little intriguing to me. I don't know if I'll get it or not, but I had another one of the originals in my backup And so I am working on that right now. So it'll be a very long time because these last forever. I finished up a deodorant, which I don't typically show my deodorants, but this is the first time that I used this specific one. And y'all, I have tried and wanted to do the clean deodorant thing. And I do have like a native clean deodorant right now and like a birthday cake or something, which smells so good. And I can use that, but I feel like if I use it for a certain amount of days in a row, I just start not really responding to it that well. And I know clean deodorants aren't necessarily meant to keep you from sweating. They're just supposed to keep you from smelling bad, which is great, but I also don't like the feel of sweating either. So I use this Donna Karan Cashmere Mist. I know it's not clean. I know I don't need the deodorant police coming after me, but this, first of all, smells amazing. Oh my goodness, smells just like her perfume, I'm assuming. I don't guess I've ever smelled the Cashmere Mist perfume. It worked so well. And I have heard so many people say that, and I'm like, how can it be that big of a difference? But I sucked it up and bought it, which is not the cheapest deodorant by any means, but it worked so well, and I felt like it lasted me forever. Like I felt like it was never going to end, which is a great thing, especially considering that it is much more expensive than a deodorant you can buy at the grocery store. But I just wanted to mention this because it works. It really works. Everybody out there who said it works, you're right. It works. Oh, I have another SPF, the Alastin Hydratint Pro Mineral. You can tell I used all of that. And of course, I'm using it again. It's another one that I talked about in my SPF video. It's one of my very favorites, especially in the summertime when I don't wear makeup as much every day and I like to just put some coverage on my face. I love this one. All right, let's get into some makeup empties. This is kind of skincare, but it ends up in my makeup empties bag because it's closer to my kitchen than my bathroom is. So these are some of the supplements that I use. And this is from Jane Iredale and Advanced Nutrition. And this is the Skin Youth Biome. I've talked about them so many times. This is my probiotic that I use. And the Skin Ultimate Skin, Hair, and Nails, which is a packet of, I believe it's 6 different pills that work in harmony with each other to produce really, really good skin. I love these supplements. I will say I got sucked into the Symbiotica train and I ordered some of that from Skin Truth, and I'm going to be trying those and let you know what I think about those supplements. But these have been ones that I have used for probably going on 2 years now, and I love them. Always have backups, always repurchase. All right, let's talk about some things that I used up in my kit. The Jane Iredale Beauty Prep Face Cleanser. This is like a micellar water cleanser, and I like to use a micellar water at the beginning of every client to ensure that they don't have any makeup left over on their face. A lot of times when it's a wedding, they had some fun at the rehearsal dinner last night. They may not have washed their face, and if they did, they didn't get all their mascara and stuff off. So I like to use this in those cases. I really like it. I like the size of the bottle. I will say it goes kind of fast the way I use it for my clients, but I really enjoy it. It doesn't disturb anybody's face. It doesn't, make anybody irritated. I really like it. This is the MAC Strobe Cream. Yeah, this has been in my kit since I started working freelance like 8 years ago. This is something that I feel like is never going to not work. I don't feel like I hear people talk about it very much anymore because I feel like that, honestly, in general about MAC, I just don't feel like they're talked about much anymore. But this is a staple for me in my kit because I love to use it as a moisturizer, mixed in with a moisturizer, or as a primer. It gives the most beautiful, luminous glow without being over the top. I never have anybody look like a Tin Man when I use this, but it makes your skin look super healthy and glowing, and I just love it. This is in the Pink Light because they have since added like more colors, and I like the original, which is Pink Light. Y'all, this is so dirty. Like, I'm embarrassed to show it, but it shows how much I use it. This is the Face Atelier foundation, ultra foundation, and this is the pro size. Look at this. I mean, it's horrible. This is in shade 6, which is a very popular shade in my kit, and this is one of my very favorite foundations. Again, ones that I had when I was in school for makeup. They didn't provide these for me, but I bought them to add to my kit in school because I loved them so much, and they have not gotten out of my kit since then. So love that foundation. A couple other MAC products. This is the MAC lip conditioner. Now let me tell you, I know this doesn't sound fancy or exciting. It's a tube of lip balm, okay? This is the product that I get asked most about when I am doing clients. It'll either be right after I applied it, like, what did you just put on my lips? Or it will be at the very end, what was that lip balm you used on me? Or it will be a bride that legit 2 years later will text me and be like, remember that lip balm you used on me? Can you tell me what it was? I'm not kidding. That has happened to me more than once because there's something magical about the MAC lip conditioner. And I always put that on, but like as part of skin prep, right? So that by the time I get to their lips at the very end, they're nice and moisturized. They're not flaky. They're ready for lipstick. And again, there's something about this that's pretty magical. So of course I had a backup. I'm currently using it and I will always be using it. And a couple lipsticks that I'm out of that I use in my kit that I want to talk about. I think this is the only drugstore lipstick. No, I have some of the Maybelline matte ones, like liquid lips, but this is the only bullet lipstick from the drugstore. And y'all, I have gone through so many of these. This is the Maybelline Touch of Spice. And when I tell you that people love this color, they love this color. I use this a lot on Mothers of the Bride. It's such a pretty berry shade. It's just perfect. It gives like just enough color without being over the top. I've gone through multiple tubes of this because again, it's just one that people love. It's comfortable, even though it's matte. I can easily put a gloss on top if I want, but a lot of times people don't even want that because again, it's not uncomfortable and it's just such a pretty color. And then my most used, hands down, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get a swatch out of this because I dug all of it. Bridal lipstick color is from MAC and it is the shade Faux, F-A-U-X. It's just the perfect neutral pink. It's not too pale. It's not going to make people who aren't comfortable with nude lips feel like they have concealer lips, but it's not too dark for people that don't like dark lips either. And this is a satin lipstick formula. You can see a little bit of a sheen. It's not as much as their cream sheen formulas, but it's enough. It's just so pretty. Again, one that I have gone through multiple tubes of and always have backups. And then finally, some things that I have gone through personally. I finished up a MAC Omega eyeshadow. I have been using this a lot lately as the powder eyeshadow to fill in my brows after I use the Jane Iredale brow pencils. So I always have these in my empties. I use Ash Blonde in these. And then I've been going in with the Omega Shadow. And that's been my favorite combo for quite a while. Enough for me to have finished up an entire one, which you don't use a ton of eyeshadow on your brows. So that shows how much I have been using this, but all out. And I do have another one that I'm currently using. Another MAC product, I know I just got done saying nobody ever talks about MAC, but apparently I do, is the Extended Play Giga Black Lash. This made it in my makeup products that I don't want to live without video because I use this every single day on my lower lashes. The brush is the absolute perfect size. It's skinny enough to where it can get on those lower lashes. It's a tubing mascara, so it does not bleed or flake or anything under the eyes. It's my favorite and has been my favorite for many, many, many years. And then a few other mascaras that I either ran out of or they just expired because there was a time and a point where I was going through so many mascaras to review them or because they were new and I just wanted to use them. And honestly, I should not do that. I should not open that many mascaras at one time because I will never be able to use them before they expire. I do typically go over the 3-month mark. I know everybody's like, you need to throw out your mascara after 3 months. I sometimes even go 6 months. I kind of let the mascara determine. If it gets super dry and clumpy, I'll throw it out, or if it starts to smell, I will, but sometimes I will go as far as 6 months. Now, the ones that I did use up were the Jane Iredale Beyond Lash Volumizing Mascara. This is a favorite, as well as the Beauty Pie Uber Volume Boost Velvet Mascara. These two I absolutely love. and I made sure that I was going to get all of the product out before it expired. So I definitely did use these up and love them. Two that I did not finish up. This is the Ilia Fullest Volumizing Mascara. So it's the newer version. I didn't dislike this one. I think I might like the original even better. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't mind-blowing to me to where I ended up reaching for it over my other favorites. And then another one that I legit used, I think twice, because I just didn't like it, was the Lancome Lash Idol. And I know so many people absolutely adore this mascara, but it just didn't get along with my lashes. I think part of it is the brush. I'm not a fan of the plastic bristled spiky brushes. I feel like it's harder for me to get product on my lashes with brushes like that. I don't know. I much prefer the Mr. Big mascara from Lancome. I love that one, but this one, it didn't like my lashes. My lashes didn't like it. And then finally, this is a sad, sad day, but I finished up my first cushion of the Chantecaille Future Skin Cushion Skincare Foundation. I used this, even though it's my favorite foundation of all time, still holds that title. I used it sparingly because I did not want to get to the point where I had to refill it, but I got to that point and you know what? It's my favorite. I just need to use it, which I have been, and I love it. And when I run out of the second one, I'll rebuy another one. It's just so good. So I feel like I got through quite a bit of makeup this time. Maybe it's just because I had so many empties in my kit. And I don't know that there's that much newness in my skincare, but I still like to share what I have gone through with y'all because A, I always feel very accomplished when I finish a product and I want to share it with anybody who will listen. And B, I feel like that even if things are repetitive, that shows you that I legitimately love them. I'm using them over and over and over again, so much so that they are continuously in my empties. And I have quite a few of those types of products. So I will have everything that I talked about linked down in the description box. I do use affiliate links. I have discount codes for some of these. If you choose to use any of those, I highly appreciate it. It helps support my channel so that I can continue buying things to review for y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I love a good empties video, and I kind of like the amount of products that I had. It wasn't too overwhelming for me. So I think I'm going to start this every couple of months. So I will be back in a couple of months with my next empties video, but I'll be back in a few days with my next video. So be sure and like and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on that and all of the ones to come after. I hope you're all staying happy, healthy, safe, and sane, and that most of all, you go out and have a very blessed day.